Hi and welcome everyone. It's Friar Tuck here, and man, I am sore and tired. Okay, so this is a Patreon only video, and I kind of wanted to share some personal thoughts versus taking it out into the public, which I'm gonna do another video similar to this, but maybe not as in detail. So I made it 10 miles, and it was the hardest 10 miles. I'm gonna show you a picture of what my foot looked like before I lanced the toe. I had an ingrown hair. Luckily, so one thing that you want to use is tea tree oil. At least that's what I have. It's mixed with fractionated coconut oil. It's like $12, maybe 15 if you go through a company called doTERRA. You guys have probably heard me talk about them frequently. But within a couple of hours, as you see, that brought it from not having a head to bringing it to a head. I was kind of hoping it had been popped by the time I actually made it here, but it didn't. As you see, my foot will be red and kind of a little swollen. I had to do a lot of compensating for the foot by shifting my weight over, plus carrying all this extra weight with the water and the food. I made it. That's all I can say is I made it, and the closer I got, the happier I got, the faster I got, the better everything got for me, because that was my motivation. Get to a shower, maybe, and the thing is I may have to take a 0 day tomorrow just because of how swollen my foot is. If it's not in good shape tomorrow, then I'm definitely going to take a 0 day, even if I got to sleep outside, versus being in here, or even if I got to walk down to the next campsite, just so that I can take some time and really give my foot the rest that it needs so that the swelling can go down. Now, I did take a couple of Aleve to kind of help with the pain there and the swelling, because it's an NSAID, so it's just like ibuprofen, but I think I got the bottle for free. Let me share with you some things that I'm probably not going to share on YouTube, which one of the things is so I ran into another camper. His name is Night Watcher. He calls that his trail name. And I told him, well, I go by Friar Tuck. And he's like, oh, that's a cool trail name. I'm sitting there thinking, dude, that's where I'm from, or where I got that name. We called it a street name. We didn't call it a trail name, but sure. So some people will have a trail name to go along with it. I'm going to share with you guys some footage that I'm probably not going to share, because if you don't know what's going on with my foot, and I don't think people want to see that in the public, but if you don't know what's going on with my foot, I cross a bridge and I'm cussing it out because I'm in so much pain. I got to say, I'm glad that I've learned a lot of the meditation and the balance and the just getting this right up here from the Meyer material, because that is what it's allowed me to deal with the amount of pain that I've dealt with over probably the last month or so, between the tooth and now my foot and my shoulders and my back, and things like that. So, when I'm in excruciating pain, last night was probably the hardest night I had to go to sleep, because my foot was throbbing so bad and I had stomach cramps so bad that between the both of them, I couldn't, they couldn't even cancel each other out. I mean, it was bad, but at the same time, am I having fun? Oh, I'm having loads of fun. And I'm learning the flaws of my original bug out plan, or whatever you want to call it. So when I started going out on a bike, okay, when you look at a bike, it's like, okay, I can travel faster, I can travel farther, and I can make distance, especially if I need to make distance. Now, if it's a life or death situation, yeah, go ahead, do that. But if it's not a life or death situation, you're doing climate migration, or that things are coming and you need to kind of get out of the area a little bit before it happens, going on a trail is probably, I would recommend that over a bike. So here's kind of the pros and cons of a bike. So with a bike, the gear itself is expensive. I mean, you think I spend a lot on the gear that I have for my bike, it's expensive. You know, I just saw a guy, my first day out, the guy that smoked with me, he ended up spending $800 on his tent, and it's like saran wrap. I mean, it's light as light. I mean, it's like, it's almost as light as a feather. And when every ounce counts, yeah, that's a big deal. But, I would rather find a light alternative means. And so, not only is it more expensive for the gear, well, I mean, it could be more expensive depending upon how you choose to do it and what you're willing to put up with and what you're not willing to put up with. But on the other sense, you know, bugging out on a bike, there's no free camping unless you're stealth camping, and that means you got to be up early, you got to be out the door, you're only going to be riding for 4 to 5 hours, 6 tops, and so you're going to have to figure out a lot of rest spots, places to sit and waste time, things like that, because, you know, you need to allow your body to recuperate, and you're probably going to use about the same amount of calories, if not less, than what you would use packing, which I thought that was kind of strange. You know, so you got to pay for hotel rooms. You got to pay for the campsites. There's nothing. It costs a lot to bug out on a bike. So if you have the money, and I would recommend, if you're going to go cross country or something like that, you should probably have about $3,000 to $4,000 after all of your gear and everything is purchased, just to be able to cover the expenses. And that's just being frugal, because, you know, you got to pay for the campsite. There's some places where there's no campsite, so you got to pay for a hotel room, or you're going to bug out, or you're going to go stealth camping. And you guys know through my journey that, not only did I struggle with stealth camping, I mean, it was okay, but there was a couple of times I slept in a school zone, and if the one sheriff that was driving by on my way back to Gainesville, if he would have decided to pull me over, that would have been a felony. It wouldn't have been because I was, I don't know, they're just very protective of children, and I understand why. But all of a sudden it goes from maybe being a misdemeanor if you're caught camping anywhere else to being a felony if you're in a school zone. So I avoided a couple of felonies just by trying to get a good night's sleep, trying to find a place. And I got to tell you, the risk of that versus being on trail. So on trail, you know, if you're on a long enough trail, there's plenty of camping. If you find a spot and, you know, it's not a designated camp spot, as long as you don't, as long as you're respectful of the area and stuff like that, no problem. Just camp wherever. Because last night I had to camp under a bridge so that I could stay dry. You know, and there's plenty, about every 10 miles, 5 to 10 miles, there is a campsite. So, you know, there's always places to stop and to camp along the way. And it's not going to cost you nearly as much as what you would pay if you were on a bike. So that is part of the reason why I'm saying, you know, I kind of feel like I made the wrong, not necessarily made the wrong choice, but I learned a lesson, a very expensive lesson, the hard way. And, you know, it is what it is. So on this, all I really have to worry about is the cost of my food. You guys know I'm a smoker, so it's the cost of my food, and maybe even if I want to stop in every once in a while and maybe grab a hotel or a hostel or something like that, you know, I could definitely do that, but it's not as needed as often. And there are ways to clean yourself, even if you want to go down to the river like yesterday, to clean myself up, because I didn't realize that there was a shower about maybe 15 miles from where I was. You know, I decided to take a bath and wash my lower half in the river because it was important that I did that, you know, because I don't want to get anything crazy going on. There's a big difference in all of this. So I talked with a guy. He's the one that told me about this. Well, him and I were talking about it this morning as he crossed my path. I was packing up. He was already on the trail. And, you know, if you look, he told me every time you come across like a highway, a freeway, something like that, where you cross over into civilization, because every so often you're going to do that at least every day or two, then you jump into a town and you resupply. So that is something that he said, you know, if you don't want to pay for the maps, then just use your Google Maps or your Apple Maps to find the closest place once you get there, and just hike in, hike out. You might lose a day, but it will be important for you to resupply if you need things, or if you just want to take a rest and go into a hotel or whatever, right? You know, I asked him like what he carries. He doesn't carry a tent. He carries a tarp that he turns into a tent. He spent quite a bit more money than I was willing to spend. I asked him, so if I'm willing to deal with the bugs, what would I pay? He's like $15 for a decent, for the right tarp that's going to be lightweight. And, you know, he was telling me about it. So I gotta go look at Walmart, but he told me that I should also probably have the walking poles, which is another $20 at Walmart. That's not bad. And then, you know, as far as water, he says 1 liter. He uses his Sawyer. Him and another guy both recommended, I may have destroyed my Sawyer water filter, because I didn't realize that if it froze, then you destroyed the water filter, and that might be why I'm having issues. And he was telling me, yeah, he made a mistake, and he learned the hard way. So it's not, everybody learns this lesson in a different way. So yeah. But this is all the different things that I have, that I've learned. You know, he carries 1 pair of clothes. He washes his clothes when he takes a shower or a bath or whatever. You know, he keeps everything lightweight. He doesn't carry more than 1 liter of water. He uses his Sawyer. And we were talking about clean creeks and stuff like that. And, you know, that's something that I just started noticing on my way into here. I saw one actually clear creek, and I was like, crap, if I didn't have all this water right now. And it's like ever since yesterday, it's like water is abundant. So it had to be my own mistakes, just being new on a trail, first time out type thing. Okay, guys, so enjoy the side footage that I'm going to give you here. Some of this will not make it on YouTube. Most of it, or some of it will. But anyways, I thought I would share with you guys, because, you know, you get a different part of the conversation than everybody else gets. But I am having a blast. I'm having a lot of fun, regardless of all the obstacles and everything. It's just, you know, embrace the suck. And I'm trying to, and I'm enjoying it to the fullest extent. I've gotten lucky a couple times, especially last night with the rain. I'm pulling up to the corner store just as the rain's coming down, so I got to stay dry last night, which was really good. All right, guys, enjoy the footage, and thank you for being Patreon subscribers, and I will see you again in the next video. Good morning, everyone. This is the Hobo Prepper. I'm Friar Tuck. Okay, so I just woke up this morning, and I'm getting on the road. I didn't check to see what time it is, but it's around 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, Jesus. Look, these are the obstacles you got to go over. I swear, sometimes, you know, I would say that this is more stringent than any military obstacle course that you get, including possibly even the Crucible. But, so I ran across another hiker, much nicer than the others, because everybody else looks at me and kind of goes, ugh. You know, I don't know why, but maybe I just don't fit the bill to being a hiker. But anyways, his name was Night Watcher, and so he's seemed pretty cool, kind of gave me some tips along the trail. And last night while I was charging my phone, it seems like what, I lose connection to the world for 2 days and it falls apart. What the hell, man? So apparently we had our first US bank collapse, and this is just the first of many. Because if you guys have heard me talk, in order for the new digital currency, the Federal Reserve is going to be our only bank. So that means all these other banks, they're either going to have to adapt or they're going to collapse. And I think they're all going to collapse. So, you know, it's not surprising to me at all. But, you know, it is what it is. And then, Economic Ninja, because that's usually who I watch when I watch for financial. I watch Economic Ninja, I Allegedly, and George Gammon. And George Gammon, if you want the technicalities, he's the guy to watch. But, you know, Economic Ninja was talking about all the different, or saying that the entitlements are going away, which I wouldn't be surprised, because you realize in 2008, the rest of the world did austerity and we didn't. We printed our way out of debt, and the rest of the world had to be responsible. So for them to take away entitlements, which includes food stamps, but the thing is he was making it like they were taking them all away, and that's not really what's happening. A lot of what the government's doing in order to get on a war footing is you have to get all these mandates and restrictions that have been in place since 2020. You have to get them, look at that river. You have to get them, you have to close that out so that you can move to the next phase. So to say that they're going to take away all of our entitlements, I would say that's far-fetched at this point, but it doesn't mean it won't happen. All it means is just that I don't see it, okay? Because in order, here's the thing, you guys have heard me talk about free man theology quite frequently. And in order for the government to have control over you, they have to get you into these entitlement programs. Everything from a driver's license, which only U.S. citizens are required for a driver's license. Wrap your head around that for a second. If you're a citizen of the state, do you need a driver's license? Because are you a U.S. citizen? See, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to claim that you are a U.S. citizen in as many ways as possible. And the more benefits, the more entitlements that you take, the more control that they have. So to say that they're going to take away all of your entitlements just doesn't make sense to me. Now they're going to reduce the COVID stuff, the what do you call it? The extra food stamps and stuff like that. But they're not taking everything away. It seems like counterproductive. And that would mean, if they did take it away, that would mean that we're on the verge of a governmental collapse. And I don't think that we're on the verge of a government collapse. Because if the government were to collapse, there's enough of the population that would say, screw this, let it burn. And the government would collapse and nobody would allow it. Now, the government, since they do write their own laws and they do, you know, I mean, they have complete control over laws and spending and all that stuff. They could mandate it just for their own survival. But, you know, I think that this is something that I think that Economic Ninja on this one is probably barking up a tree that there's no need to bark up. So anyways, guys, this is my start of my trail, about 9 miles. There is a campsite, which I'm looking forward to because it has a shower. Wow, there's actually showers along the way. I could really get to liking this. You know, showers, water, electricity. I mean, I might, my toe. So I have an ingrown hair on my pinky toe. And the way that the boot smashed down on it, it's kind of made it really sore and kind of caused the rest of my foot to kind of swell a little bit. So I put some tea tree oil on it, or melaleuca is what it used to be called. Some tea tree oil on it, and that tea tree oil is supposed to draw out the pus so that I can lance it and be on my way. But it may take a day or two to do that. So I did my first regiment this morning. I'll probably do another one in the morning, and if it doesn't look like it's coming to head, I will probably end up staying there one more day, especially if there's water and electricity, because I've got plenty of food. The thing about being on trail, at least for me, it's just like doing the bike thing, is that I don't eat as much as I should. And so, you know, 3 days worth of food could turn into like 5 days worth of food for me. So, and it seems like, other than my initial obstacles, seems like that there are a lot of resources along here. You just kind of got to know how to get to them. And that's why you want to talk to people on the trail as you're walking the trail. But any of you guys, I would strongly suggest that you I'd strongly suggest that you get out on a trail, on a bike, however you're planning on bugging out, okay? I mean, but look at this. I mean, if you had a chance to see nothing but a concrete jungle on a bike, I mean, I'm seriously starting to regret the fact that I went on a bike just because I like what I'm seeing out here. I mean, tell me that this isn't beautiful. I mean, tell me that this isn't just absolutely gorgeous. So I think this might be a boat ramp that we're coming up to. Wow. You know, and when you're on foot, it seems like there's a lot. Okay. So something to show you guys real quick. So, as you see, there is the 2. Okay, so that's telling me I gotta go right. If it was to the left, then if the top one was to the left, then that would mean I have to go left. So, okay, so I'm going this way. And as you see in the foreground, there's one that says I need to take a left. Okay, this is gonna be interesting because it's like, I don't know, I'm still learning the trail. Oh, okay. So way back there, you see along that fence line, that's where I'm gonna be walking. So anyways, guys, you know how to help out the channel. Like, subscribe, share. Come on over to Patreon. I'm gonna start, as I get used to being on this trail, some of the stuff, you know, the prettier stuff and things like that, I'm gonna put over on Patreon because, you know, I need to be able to have resources while I'm on the trail. Okay, so see, that's to the left. Okay, so anyways, guys, okay, so I'm presuming okay, I think I'm going down this dirt road because I saw on the map, so the interactive map is really important. So, at least for me, until I can actually afford to pay for a map. So, anyways, guys, oh yeah, you can leave a tip down in my tip jar. You'll help fund my trip. Make sure that I have the resources because apparently my food stamps may be being cut in half. Okay, see, there's if you ever get lost, you look for the next trailblazer. They're not too far apart. But so this is kind of how you figure your way around if you don't have navigation, you want to follow a trail. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. You guys want to see the treachery that I talk about. So I've gone across a couple of these planks. This one looks a lot more sturdier. This one, come on. Oh. My toe hurts really bad. And this trail ain't helping it. Especially with all of the these things right here. And their little knots that stick up. Those things, you'll trip and fall on your face if you're not paying attention. It's irritating when you got a sore foot. But, as you see, like, this is me going across, hoping to God that I actually make it. Thank God I'm not 300 pounds anymore. Oh, look at this thing wobble. All right. I'm probably about 3 miles from my campsite. But I just wanted to show you guys some of, things. Yeah, constant up and down. And when it's on the top of your pinky toe and the boot just keeps, it's painful. Pleasures of an ingrown hair. Hey everyone, see this tree here? See, there's the trail. There's the tree. There's my bag. I tried to crawl under it and I tipped over. So I figured I'd stop and have something to eat. Okay guys, so sometimes along the way, you're gonna have to go through private property. The trail's already designed through it. So don't worry about it too much, but as you see, so there's a blue one, that means, okay, private property. Okay, no hunting, okay. But there'll always be a way to get in. if you're on the right path. So, okay, so you guys have heard me talk about how treacherous this is. So look at this. So I go down here. That's actually one of the nice ones. And I go around the creek, but a lot of the times I have to go straight down and then straight back up. So this one ain't so bad. I'll take you a little bit of the way down. Hey man, I think by the end of this, I should be able to leg press at least 2 to 3 times my body weight. But this is the obstacles and the workout you get on the trail. So if you think you get on a trail and it's mostly flat and there's not a lot of obstacles, you just walking through the forest. Well, if this is walking through the forest, so I am probably about a half a mile out from my campsite. But this one is actually much nicer than I was expecting. I saw it on the map. I'm learning how to figure out where the creeks are on the map, because that's usually where you have to go straight down and then straight back up again. So I finally made it to the campsite, and look at this. This is what I get for free. Okay, I don't have to pay for it. And I also got a shower. They have a bathroom and endless amounts of ice if I want to chill my water. So look at this. And I get all this. And look at that. I got a fan and a bug net. So if I really want to be a sissy about the bugs, I can. So I got the last one that they had available. Otherwise, I would have had to been sleeping outside, which is cool for me. So anyways, guys.